Welcome to Let's Fix It Right. In this episode, I'll show you how to save hundreds of dollars by replacing a broken garage door extension spring by yourself. This is my garage door extension spring that snapped, which my wife noticed this morning. The safety cable held it in place on one end and broke loose at the other end. The force was tremendous. As you can see, it distorted and twisted the angle iron frame out of shape. It held there, and the spring snapped at this location here. See that the spring loop sheared and broke loose at this point on the pulley wheel attachment. This is what the broken spring looks like laid out on my driveway. The spring suffered fatigue, wear, and tear and broke here as compared to our new replacement spring. Prior to getting started on this effort, I would like to emphasize safety and urge you to exercise extreme caution. Most importantly, be safe. Based on my internet searches, nationwide costs for installing garage door extension springs run between $100 and $350. Most garage door extension springs experience fatigue wear and tear failures similar to my spring failure. Consequently, if one spring fails, your other spring will most likely fail soon thereafter. These extension springs are sold in pairs, so you should install both springs when replacing a broken one. Consequently, the average cost doubles to the $200 to $700 range. These are the required tools that you'll need to install the new extension spring and safety cable. From left to right, they are as follows: tape measure, ratchet wrench and correctly sized socket to match your pulley and spring attachment, bolts and nuts, same sized box wrench or open end wrench, nut driver to tighten these small cable bolts that come with your new extension spring set, regular pliers, large vise grips, and channel lock pliers. We've lived in this house for 26 years, and this is the second set of garage door extension springs that I've replaced. Prior to getting started, there are a couple of important safety points about the spring specifications that I'd like to cover with you. This is a yellow coated and 130 pound rated spring set per this safety chart on the outside of the package. It accommodates garage doors up to and including a 16 by 7 foot size door. My garage doors are 8 feet by 7 feet, so these springs can easily handle them. Another key specification is the spring extension length. For safety purposes, these springs should not be stretched beyond 67 inches as stated here. Consequently, let's check this length in my garage. We'll measure this spring, which is extended.
It's about 64, 65. So it's within the specs, the 67 inch one.
Step one is to remove the old broken extension spring and safety cable. After removing them, we'll repair the bend in the angle iron. We'll now remove the spring's eye bolt, which serves as the attachment for the old spring. The bolt is in the center of the bend, and we can't correct the bend in the angle iron with the eye bolt in place.
Okay, so that about does that. And let's now unthread the cable through the angle iron holes. Okay, so we'll pull the cable through the holes. Okay, so using my channel locks in pliers, I'll straighten the angle iron back into its original position. And with all these holes in it, it moves in here fairly easy. I don't even think there'll be a need to reinforce it. And be careful if you're working around this stuff. I've cut myself on these sharp corners here several times, so be careful working around this stuff. It's nasty. Okay, so that is repaired.
At this time, we'll remove the old broken loop from the garage door pulley wheel and reattach the new spring with the same loop orientation.
To make this easy, with this pulley guide here, it's sort of in the way of using a socket set. So in lieu of that, we're going with vice grips. And as you can see, this easily unscrews here. Okay, so I've unbolted and removed the pulley wheel, and at this time I'm going to add the new spring in place, and we're going to be careful to orient it in the same direction as we have taken the other one off. Okay, so with the new spring attached in the loop, let's tighten up the pulley wheel at this time. And that does it. We've got that in good shape, tightened up, and we're ready for the next step. Okay, so the best way I think to explain this is to show how I rigged it. Basically what I did is I looked on the opposite side, and as you can see, the safety line runs through the pulley eye right here, eyelet, through the spring and ties into the holes on the angle iron, and it's tied off with the turnbuckle tie off, the bolted tie off up here. So as you can see, this faces the pulley faces to the outside, and the safety line runs through the spring once again, through the eyelet on the pulley facing outside, and then the pulley, the safety line ties into the frame down here at this location, and then the pulley cable goes from the bottom over the top back up into around the other pulley cable. So that's how that's rigged. So that's exactly what I did over here on the new side. Once again, I've got the pulley facing more to the outside, and the safety line going through it, tying it off with the turnbuckle up here on the back side of the angle iron on the holes, and then the safety line runs down through, and I connected it here. So this is where I started feeding the safety line. So this one has a loop, the other one did not. So it came with it. So this is actually better. So I looped it right here, and as you can see, the garage door cable goes from the bottom up around the top into the top side of the pulley here, and then down. So the best way to evaluate this is to run the garage door at this time. So we'll come over here to our panel, and I'll hit the button, and let's go back over and watch this come down. As you can see, it stretches. There's no binding of the pulley. All the cables are staying in alignment. Safety line is well attached, stretched out. Safety line continues up through the spring here, ties off, and everything is in pretty good shape. So let's go ahead and bring the garage door up and see how that works. Okay, so we're releasing the tension on the spring, and all the cables are feeding properly. Feeds over the top and bottom of the pulley next to the spring and down here on the other side. So everything pretty well stays intact. So this installation is a success. And as I mentioned before, now that we've installed the new one on this side, we'll use the same process to install a new spring on the opposite side, because it's probably incurred some fatigue, wear and tear damage through the year, just like this one, and it should be failing fairly soon.
This concludes this episode showing you how to save hundreds of dollars by replacing a broken garage door extension spring by yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and select the YouTube bell so YouTube will notify you of all my new projects immediately after I publish them. At this time, I'm moving on to my next project. You're more than welcome to follow. In addition, if you have a great project that you want to post on my YouTube channel, email me some pictures and a brief description of it. If it qualifies for the Let's Fix It Right standards to help others, I'll interview you over the phone as a guest do-it-yourselfer, produce a high-quality video, and post it on my Let's Fix It Right channel. For the year following this posting, I'll share 50% of the potential YouTube benefits with you. If you have any subject matter requests or recommendations, please contact me. All of this said, I recommend that you subscribe to my channel, follow my projects, and save a bundle of money doing it.